Welcome to Military Minute Now. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates. The sky, a place once seen as limitless, serene, and untouchable. But today it is no longer a sanctuary. The very nature of airspace has changed, becoming a domain of constant vigilance and danger. Picture a state-of-the-art fighter jet, soaring high above the clouds, its pilot confident in altitude and speed. Yet now, that jet can be threatened from hundreds of kilometers away, by enemies it cannot even see. This is the new reality of air combat. The days of close-range dogfights where pilots relied on reflexes and maneuvering are fading. Instead, battles are fought with sensors, data links, and missiles that can reach across entire regions. The game has changed, thanks to the arrival of very long-range air-to-air missiles, or VLRAMs. These are not just incremental improvements, they represent a leap in technology and strategy. These advanced weapons can strike targets at distances once thought impossible, guided by sophisticated radar, infrared, and satellite systems. Their speed and precision make them nearly impossible to evade, even for the most agile jets. Now, a fighter can launch its deadly payload from deep within friendly airspace, never needing to cross into enemy territory. This creates vast no-go zones where adversaries risk destruction long before they can even see their target. This seismic shift forces military planners to rethink every aspect of air superiority. Strategies, tactics, and even the design of future aircraft are being rewritten from the ground up. Headlines like, "China tests 800 kilometers hypersonic missile and US scrambles to counter new threat," aren't just media hype. They reflect a rapidly changing reality where technological breakthroughs can alter the balance of power overnight. The ability to target vital support aircraft, tankers, AWACS, and intelligence planes means an entire air force can be crippled before its fighters even take off. The support network, once considered safe, is now a primary target. In this new era, the nation with the longest reach, the best sensors, and the fastest missiles now dictates the terms of aerial conflict. The balance of power is shifting. As of July 2025, the United States and China are locked in a high-stakes race to define the future of air power. Each side is investing billions, developing new technologies, and training for scenarios that were science fiction just a decade ago. The stakes? Nothing less than control of the skies, and with it the power to shape the outcome of conflicts for years to come. The race for longer-range air-to-air missiles has reached a fever pitch. Around the world, nations are investing heavily in advanced weaponry, each determined to outpace their rivals in the skies. The quest for air superiority is no longer just about having the fastest jets. It's about who can strike first, from the farthest distance, with the most precision. The US once led unchallenged, dominating the skies with cutting-edge technology and unmatched resources. For decades, American air power was the gold standard, setting the pace for the rest of the world. But that era is over. China and Russia have poured billions into missile R&D, closing the gap and reshaping the global security landscape. Their relentless pursuit of innovation has forced a dramatic shift in the balance of power. China's transformation is stunning. Once known for copying foreign designs, it now leads in missile technology, unveiling new systems that rival or even surpass Western counterparts. Their rapid progress has caught the world's attention, signaling a new era of competition. The US now finds itself playing catch-up in key areas, racing to develop next-generation missiles and countermeasures. American strategists are rethinking their approach, aware that technological dominance is no longer guaranteed. Russia's R-37M and Europe's Meteor missile add to the complexity, each boasting formidable range and technology. These new weapons can engage targets at unprecedented distances, making every encounter in the sky more unpredictable and dangerous. Air dominance is no longer guaranteed by a single superpower. Instead, it's a high-stakes contest involving multiple nations, each with their own advanced arsenals and strategies. Every nation knows, control the air, and you control the conflict. Air superiority shapes the outcome of battles, influences diplomacy, and can tip the scales in global power struggles. This arms race is a cycle. Each breakthrough spurs new countermeasures, fueling a dangerous spiral. As soon as one side gains an edge, the others respond, pushing the limits of technology and strategy. The spread of this technology makes the world more unpredictable. With more nations acquiring advanced missiles, the risk of miscalculation or escalation grows, raising the stakes for everyone. The margin for error is razor thin. In a world where seconds can mean the difference between victory and disaster, pilots and commanders must make split-second decisions under immense pressure. We're entering a multipolar era of air combat, where dominance is fiercely contested and alliances are constantly shifting. The skies are now a battleground for technology, tactics, and national ambition. The skies have never been more dangerous, or more uncertain. As the arms race accelerates, the world watches, knowing that the next breakthrough could change everything. At the cutting edge stands China's PLAAF, a missile that's rewriting the rules. With an estimated range of up to 800 kilometers and hypersonic speed, the PLAAF is a true game-changer. Its velocity makes it nearly impossible to intercept. By the time you detect it, it's almost too late. Traditional countermeasures struggle against such speed. The PLAAF's multi-mode guidance, radar, infrared, satellite links, ensures it finds its mark. This isn't just an incremental upgrade, it's a quantum leap. Decades of investment and innovation have paid off for China. The PLAAF puts high-value enemy assets at risk from unprecedented distances. It's a symbol of China's ambition to dominate the skies. VLRAMs like the PLAAF aren't designed for close-range dogfights. These are not the missiles you'd use in a swirling, high-speed battle between nimble jets. Instead, they're engineered to hunt down the high-value support aircraft that make modern air campaigns possible. Tankers and AWACS are the backbone of any sustained air operation. They provide the fuel, coordination, and intelligence that keep fighter jets in the fight and aware of threats. Take these support planes out of the equation and you effectively blind and cripple an entire air force, leaving frontline fighters isolated and vulnerable. China's anti-access/area denial or A2/AD strategy leverages these long-range missiles to create a vast invisible bubble of contested airspace, one that stretches for hundreds of miles, and makes it perilous for enemy support aircraft to operate anywhere near the front. As a result, U.S. support planes would be forced to operate far from the heart of the conflict, well outside the range where they can be most effective. This distance dramatically limits the reach and persistence of American fighters, forcing them to spend more time traveling and less time on station. Even the most advanced stealth jets, like the F-35, can't stay in the air for long without regular refueling. Without tankers, their operational range shrinks dramatically. And without AWACS, those same jets lose their situational awareness, making them far less effective in combat and more susceptible to surprise attacks. By targeting these critical enablers, China can neutralize many of the traditional U.S. advantages in air power, without ever having to engage in a direct, high-risk confrontation between fighter jets. The focus of the battle shifts away from the front lines, moving instead to the vulnerable rear areas where support aircraft operate and prepare for missions. A single PLAAF missile, launched from deep within mainland China, could potentially strike a U.S. tanker aircraft flying over the Philippines, hundreds of miles from the actual combat zone. This new reality forces U.S. military planners to confront a difficult dilemma: how to protect these vital assets without sacrificing the effectiveness of their missions. Do they risk sending critical support planes into harm's way, or do they hold them back and accept reduced combat capability for their frontline fighters? That's the brilliance and the growing threat of China's evolving strategy. It changes the rules of the game, forcing adversaries to rethink how and where they fight in the skies above Asia. The US isn't standing still. Enter the AIM-260 Joint Advanced Tactical Missile, America's answer to China's missile leap. Details are classified, but it's expected to outrange the AIM-120 AMRAAM with advanced seekers and countermeasures. Designed to fit inside stealth fighters, the AIM-260 restores parity in beyond visual range combat. While China focuses on ultra-long-range sniper missiles, the US aims for a balanced, versatile arsenal. The AIM-260 is just one piece of a broader strategy. Networked warfare, new sensors, and countermeasures are all in play. The race for air dominance is far from over. Missile innovation is accelerating, driven by real-world tensions and the specter of conflict. The Indo-Pacific, Taiwan, and the South China Sea are flashpoints fueling this arms race. Lessons from Ukraine, where long-range strikes and air defense have changed warfare, are shaping new missile programs. Each side's breakthrough forces the other to respond, creating a relentless cycle of one-upmanship. Public displays, air shows, test launches, are as much about messaging as technology. Every new missile is a warning shot to rivals and a signal to allies. As of 2025, the pace is only quickening. The future of air combat is being written in real time. China's missile journey began with copies of Soviet designs in the 1950s. Decades of reverse engineering gave way to innovation after the Sino-Soviet split. The 1990s were pivotal. Exposure to advanced Russian tech and a surge in defense spending fueled rapid progress. The PL-12 marked China's arrival as a serious missile power, matching Western capabilities. Since then, China has rolled out increasingly advanced missiles, each leapfrogging the last. The transformation from the copied PL-2 to the hypersonic PL-XX is astonishing. It's a story of ambition, investment, and relentless focus. China is now a world-class innovator, not just a follower. This evolution has shifted the global balance of power. The stage is set for a new era of strategic competition. The PL-XX is the latest in a family of advanced Chinese missiles. The PL-15, with a range over 200 kilometers, shocked the Pentagon and set a new standard. Its dual-pulse motor gives it a huge no-escape zone, and it's now standard on China's top fighters. The PL-17 and PL-21 push into the 300, 400-kilometer range, targeting high-value assets deep behind enemy lines. These missiles are larger, likely ramjet-powered, and represent a leap in technology. Together, the PL-15, PL-17, and PL-21 create a layered threat, medium to extreme range. This arsenal gives China the ability to control the air at multiple distances. Each missile builds on the last, systematically extending China's reach. The PL-15 established parity. The PL-17 and PL-21 threaten the US support network. The PL-XX now aims to dominate the entire Indo-Pacific airspace. It's a deliberate strategic progression. Advanced missiles like the PL-XX are reshaping the Indo-Pacific balance of power. The US once guaranteed security here through air and sea dominance. Now, China's missiles challenge that dominance directly. In a Taiwan conflict, China could establish air superiority and threaten US intervention at long range. US support aircraft would be at risk before even reaching the fight. The South China Sea is another flashpoint. China's island bases and missile-armed fighters project power across vital sea lanes. The A2/AD bubble could push US forces out, emboldening China and unsettling US allies. Missile range and speed now shape the region's geopolitics as much as diplomacy. The era of uncontested American power is over. A new, more dangerous chapter has begun.